What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you are doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger instructor panties. The green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So, after I instructed my co-worker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow-hopped to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say "hidden hoorah." So you tell me, stolen valor.
Hey, y'all, I'm going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. We're just tooling around, tooling along. Shit! Bad guys! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style.
Tonight's show is brought to you by Ventura Training and Athletics. Restore, train, maintain. Specializing in the restoration of the muscular system to help you move and feel better. Combating TBI, PTSD, and pain through specialized strength training. Again, get your body right, get your mind right, defeat the demons.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Today's special guest is Daniel, that typical Army officer who expected his men to love 10-mile runs.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Man, I feel like we should be celebrating today. Episode 50 of the Trash Talk Hour. I don't know if I'm going to have
Every
one of
day's a
these
celebration.
fountain shots. Every day is a celebration. Hey, welcome everybody to the show. Shout out to our sponsors, Ventura Training and Athletics, Zach Farkas, and 10th Mountain Whiskey. Go to their website, type in VTT, and get yourself a discount. Our special guest today is Daniel from Gritty Soldier. Apparently, he's like a stud and shit and sells shirts. So we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. And
Hey,
as
me
always,
too.
I'm here with Nick, Buddy, and Joe. Over to you, Buddy.
Hey, so today's Honest Cap is really just a PSA for you, Dave. I'm trying to help you out. So
Thanks,
there's
brother. Thanks. I love you too.
There's a toilet paper shortage. So we're finally done with that. There's a chicken shortage, a gas shortage. USAREC just sent out, so you need to let everybody know the Army has got a job shortage. There are no more jobs in the Army. So do not rush out to your recruiter's office and ask them. They're not going to give you a job. You can't have it. We don't have any
That's
more
bad
jobs.
for business.
There's a shortage of all jobs in the Army. They're filled. I have 2 jobs right now. You can't have either one. It's all filled up. Nobody gets, so go do something else, because we don't need you. We don't want you. All the jobs are good. Not hiring any longer.
Now, we'll talk
any more
about
wars.
that
offline, buddy. We'll talk about that stuff offline.
And I do love the fact that everybody on both politically, like everybody's been politically charged for the last forever and a day. On both sides of the aisle, everybody is super happy that the president said that we either wear a mask or else, or get vaccinated. That's an awesome. We went from 0 to fucking Gestapo real quick. Awesome.
Yes, we
Good
did.
shit.
Hey, are you tracking the new magnet thing, buddy?
The what?
You got to put a magnet on your arm. If you got, this is what the shit that Dave reads, like in these magazines.
That's
where it's
Kerber, bro.
Shout
out to Kerber. Shout out to Kerber.
Yeah, if you got the vaccine, there's all these Q people that are saying there's a microchip in you. So if you put a magnet to your arm, you'll tell if you're one of the guys that they chipped.
If you're
That's
chipped
what they're
or not.
saying now.
Yep.
I do have to.
The 101st Commander just put out that.
Never heard of them.
Never heard of him.
Major General McGee. You can't go on leave unless you get the vaccine.
Fuck it, you know what I
pretty
mean?
sure you can't tie leave to an experimental drug, sir. I don't know how that works. Something about legal orders.
But
Nick,
I'm
are
just
you
gonna
going to hit
leave.
on Billy in the chat, or do you want me to hit on Billy in the chat?
Are you on which one are you on? I'm on Gruntworks. So
Okay.
There is a shortage of 13 foxes. Somebody said, no, there's not. Hey,
There's never.
Jeremy,
there's
we
no
don't
shortage of
we don't
anything.
need 13
All the-
foxes at all. So they can
Nope.
all leave. All right, bye. I could teach a
Don't-
private how to call for fire.
Yeah, don't come to the recruiter's office. We can't do anything with you.
Yeah, and then we got no slack represented here by Nick. What's up, man? You're still a leg. You're not a real airborne unit, so no slack off. All right, motherfucker. So hey, is it Joe's turn? Are we? What are we
It can
talking
be
about
Joe's
here?
turn. It can be Joe's turn.
Buddy, did you actually give an honesty cap, or did you just ramble?
But we were just rambling at that point. So go ahead,
Okay.
Joe.
Yeah, no. But Buddy and I always differ a little bit in our soapboxes, which is nice. I figured it's been a little bit. Missed a couple of shows over the last 2 weeks, so I wrote Nick a haiku.
Yes.
No,
Drum roll.
I don't ever know how good these are going to be, but listen, this is something that's
We
been
don't even know if you're going to
applicable-
be here.
There he is. This is going to be applicable to to anybody, and it's definitely applicable to me. So I thought, pen to paper, write some thoughts down. All right, well, here it is. All right, it's very, very, very simple. Make sure you're doing the things you're doing for the right reason. Notice I didn't say reasons, because there's one big
Gotta
one.
include cocaine.
Hey, if you're doing it for the right reason, then that's your call.
Okay.
But it sounds simple, but so often we fall victim to our own expectations. The reactions of others get labeled as some kind of currency. It's bullshit. It's bullshit. But however, as a society, we tend to let the number of likes scale run parallel with the validity scale, when the only idea or thought that never has any validity is the one that's left unspoken. And so many people will actually bite their tongue on something they believe in simply out of fear of rejection. If you're one of these people, you're not exactly living, you're existing. Man, listen to yourself. And even if it's a leap of faith, and this sounds corny, and that's fine. It's simple because it's hard. Most hard things are very simple, cut and dry. People want to complicate them to make them easier. If it's a leap of faith, pick what you believe in, make that thing yours and execute. If you fail, you fail, but at least you had the guts to bet on yourself. That alone takes heart. All right. The reactions along the road most definitely will be mixed at best. Ignore it until you get where you are going. If you can see the finish line and you have an end goal in sight, then stop letting these negative people smother what it is you're trying to do, because they're only white noise and you will forget them and they will fade, because once you're successful, you'll hear nothing but crickets from that section. For myself, for Dave and Buddy, I know for Dan, and definitely for Big Girl, haters are like rocket fuel. We love it, you know, because that means that you're giving us some kind of attention. Let them watch you from the cheap seats. Treat them like crowd noise. Whether they're cheering or booing, you're still the one who had the guts to bet on yourself and play the game. Remember, fear is not the absence of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is knowing the next move has no certainty and stepping forward. Embrace the ambiguity. Book of Earl, chapter 12, verse 8. In closing, I'll say this. Just have heart, show some courage, do things for the right reasons, and you will never be disappointed. That's all I got, Nick.
Boom, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. It took you 2 weeks to write that. Is that why you haven't been on the show?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean,
because he was busy
beautiful.
reading all of Facebook.
Yeah, it's we just got to be careful they didn't plagiarize like that South Carolina president who was a retired general. I think he's a
man.
West Pointer.
Anytime I write something, Dan, I get this. You better not plagiarize that. Well, I guess we'll find out.
I thought that was badass. That motivated me, man.
See,
well,
Dan,
right. So he's good at that. Hopefully.
No,
hopefully Liz.
Joe is good at that stuff.
Hopefully Liz from Neuroflow is watching, because she really loves Joe's haikus as well.
Hey Dan,
Dan, keep in mind, I didn't call them a haiku. Nick tends to like to give things a certain nickname, and we just let him go with it. So Nick calls them haikus.
Well, hopefully you don't need to be
they're not
every
haikus,
week,
Nick. They're
because
American.
Joe probably won't be on for another month.
Buddy probably won't be sitting still, not in a car for maybe, I don't know, another year.
Hey, Buddy, what happened to your boots
We've had
last
you
night?
not be mobile and be in a house twice in a year.
So okay, you want to hear the story?
Yeah, we want to hear the story, buddy.
If you can get there quickly, yeah.
Well, I can get there quickly if you shut the fuck up.
Yeah, stop stuttering, buddy.
God damn it. So we went to
God didn't do that. You did it.
Dinner for a wedding last night. We may have had a couple libations. Then we went down to Nashville, and
okay, he's frozen.
That's what he gets for driving.
Space and time.
Yeah,
that's what he gets
par
for
for the
driving.
course.
Yeah.
Let's move it on, Nick.
Yeah, so
Dan, this
Grunt
guy's
Works,
touched a horse fence 47 times in his life. He will not learn his lesson. He freezes every show. He'll freeze every show. We accept him for what he is.
Yeah, he's still halfway through his
Special
story, not
Forces,
realizing
my
nobody's listening to him.
Special Forces,
he's not
my
an
ass.
echo. All right, so I think he's a Charlie, so it doesn't really matter. Anyways,
seems like a
those of
Bravo
you
to me.
watching on Gruntworks, thanks for checking us out. If you don't know our mission, Dave was supposed to talk about it in the script, but he didn't.
I didn't read the script.
Whoops. Yeah, exactly. So again, those of you watching are new. We promote veteran-owned businesses for free. All right, that's what we do. We want to build the community that can help all veterans. Doesn't matter what service you were in, what your MOS was, or anything. Like even the 13 Foxes, Bill. All right, Bill said that he's the hero that I didn't want, but I needed. Thanks for that comment, Bill. So if you have a veteran-owned business, hit us up and we'll promote you for free. And then I go on LinkedIn and that's where I found Dan. All right. So I saw him doing one of his crazy videos of like, that crazy officer PT that all the enlisted guys hate. So that's kind of like what the song said is, we make fun of you in the intro song. And it's like, you're that typical Army officer that expects all of your guys to want to run 10 miles. It's like, no, sir. We all drank this weekend. Like, we do not want to run 10 fucking miles today. We're not going to be excited about it. We're not going to be as pumped about it as you are. All right. But
All I
It
hear
is
when
what
you
it
say
is.
that is that you've carb loaded the night before and that you're ready to go. You know.
Well, you only carb load if you actually cut carbs out. But so
The only
it's-
carb
it's-
load, the only carb loading Nick did before 10-mile runs was PBR at Legends.
Yes, PBR
Facts,
Legends
facts.
Pub on Bragg Boulevard. That is a
At the
great
clip
place
of
to go.
about
Go to
8
Legends
to
Pub.
10 per night.
Yes. Well, you know, it was my
Nick drank
fuel,
them
and I
out of PBR, Dan. That's truth. Nick literally drank the bar out of PBR. They had to order an extra case the next month because Nick had become a regular. That's truth.
That's exactly what happened.
Come
That
on,
happened.
man.
But enough about me. I know everybody wants to hear me talk, and everybody on the show is here to see me. But that's what I bring the audience for Dan here. So Dan, welcome to the show. He is the CEO and founder of the Gritty Soldier. Go check it out. We'll put all those plugs out there. And again, he's a phenomenal athlete. He's done a lot of great things that he'll talk about. And again, we need more women watching. So he's got a nice jawline, as we talked about earlier. So
Yeah,
he's a
chiseled
good,
features.
clean
Chiseled
cut guy.
features.
So maybe some
Sorry,
of the
ladies,
ladies
I'm
will
married.
appreciate the show. Yeah, it's all right. They're just watching. So
He's off the
we
market.
need him
He's
to
off the
watch.
market.
But hey, Dan, welcome to the show. Talk about a little bit about what you've done with your life and what you got going on with the Gritty Soldier and how people can support you.
All right, thanks, brother. All right, so I'm just kind of winging it first off, but that means it's just going to be completely truthful with what I say. And first of all, what I want to say is, yeah, I might be an officer now, and I might be this way now, but I was definitely enlisted not too long ago. And the mindset that I currently have now has only been built off my enlisted experience that I had in the past. So keep that in mind, okay? For all you,
You don't have to defend yourself.
Smart
Don't
move,
think I'm
Dan.
just some
Smart
crazy
move.
officer guy.
Smart move.
Hey,
It's crazy,
don't
man.
get
I
too
was just at the
triggered
gym.
already. It's just
I'm triggered. Fuck. All right, but no, I was at the gym the other day, and I was just working out, doing my regular shit, and a guy came up to me, and I had a Gritty Soldier shirt on, because I'm marketing and all that, and he came up to me and asked me if I was an officer in the Army, and I was like, what makes you think that? And he was like, you just look like it. You look like you're a battalion commander. I'm like, what the hell? Like, I don't know what gave you that impression. So I guess I'm like turning into an actual officer nowadays, using big words and shit. But I can tell you, compared to my peers, it's pretty obvious that I came from being a prior NCO. So anyway, Gritty Soldier, right? So Gritty Soldier got its beginnings during last year when like COVID first broke out. I was, you know how everybody, like it was back in April, everybody was getting sent home. We started not doing PT together. I think like most units are still kind of that way. But I was big on PT at the time. So I made like an Instagram page. It was the first time I really had any experience with social media, because I'm just like an old turd like that, and I didn't believe in it at the time. And I made a little Instagram page so that my guys could follow it in the platoon and do PT. Well, they really liked that, and they were doing the PT that I was putting on there. I would take videos of myself, and they would just follow along and do it. And eventually, I started getting people following on from like that weren't in my platoon that just came across the page, And so that kind of gave me an idea. And my guys were getting super motivated by it. They loved it. They didn't really necessarily need me there. They just needed the direction and the motivation to actually do it. And they were still getting better, even though they were able to just be home and just be lazy. Okay, so that was what I was, trying to do there. Anyway, it started building and it started spreading across the battalion. And it also started spreading across like the entire force as a whole. And that's when I had the idea of, wow, man, because I'm going to take a second just to say this. So I've always thought growing up, so I've been in the Army about 14 years now, and I've noticed the Army going from, 2016 to what it is today. And I don't like to talk shit about the Army, whether it's podcast or not. I don't really like to do that because I still believe in what the Army is. But I do happen to notice that there is some sort of lack of motivation into being, I see you nodding there, Joe. So the lack of motivation across the force for the right reasons. People are plenty motivated to get there and do what the minimum is and then go home. That's not an issue. But they're not really as motivated to go out there and like challenge themselves, whether it be physically, mentally, go to these Army schools, use all the available resources that the Army gives you to make yourself a better person besides just being a better soldier. That's been lacking like tremendously since I've been in it, especially within the last 5 years, I'd say. And I think everybody would probably agree with me on that. So anyway, with that mindset, I saw this growing and it was taking off very quickly. So I saw the power of social media, and I saw that I had the ability personally to motivate all these people, and they were actually buying into it and becoming better themselves. So I was like, okay, well, what kind of skills do I have that I can put on here and make the biggest effect with all these people that are watching? And I was like, okay, fitness, because I'm really into fitness. And that's all been derived from, I've always been like a person to challenge myself. Truth be told, when I first came in the Army, I was just regular Joe who smoked a pack a day and hated running the 2-miler. I think my fastest time back in the day was like a 16.
Yo, that sounds like all of us and Nick, right?
Yeah. I was your typical guy that took advantage of the smoke breaks. When you're in the arms room and you're cleaning fucking weapons all day long, I'm like, well, I gotta go take a smoke break. That was me.
What else are we gonna do?
Yeah,
I explain it to people all the time. I was like, I smoked in the beginning of my career in the Army because that's the only time you got to take breaks.
Yeah,
who's the guy that downed drank a bunch of Dr. Pepper before the runs and still ran like an 11:20? Yeah,
Parent. But Danny used to drink Dr. Peppers by the 3s, and I mean he'd go 1, 2, 3 in the other. Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt.
Mentioned our boy. Sorry about that.
Okay. Hopefully I'm not taking too long. You guys cut me off. Sometimes I go.
No,
all the time in the world.
The floor is yours.
I'm an
That's the whole point of the show.
I talk too much, But anyway, so
yeah, no, it's good.
Yeah, so fitness, right? So I developed this need for fitness. It all started like on my first deployment, and I found out I was going to airborne school, and I thought airborne school was like something you had to be fit for. Truth be told, it wasn't really, but we all know that. But so I started running a lot. I quit smoking when I came back from deployment. Anyway, that's going to turn into a whole bunch of stuff. So I was really into fitness, and I thought the fitness would be a good way to go. So I started making fitness programs that were oriented towards Army people, right? So soldiers. And then I posted them onto a website, and that started taking off. And people were actually buying these fitness programs like for Ranger School and Sapper School, and you name it. I've got something on there, and it was helping them not only to prepare physically for these schools, because a lot of people just didn't know what they were doing. They didn't know what kind of training they should be doing to be ready, but it was also giving them the motivation to continue on that track to actually going to these schools, especially Ranger School, because a lot, like you were saying before, Joe, that there's tons of naysayers out there. And that's, you can apply that to Ranger School all day long. Anytime you go to a unit where there's not a whole bunch of tab people, and you say, I think I want to go to Ranger School, you won't hear the end of it of people that
they shit all over it because they're terrified of the fact that you might actually go. They're terrified of the fact you might actually go and then come back to them, and all of a sudden you just raise the standard, and they want you to stay down on that level.
See, that's the wrong mindset. That is completely.
It is, but in some units that's a problem. And as a veteran who's out, that's me saying that, not you. No. In some units that's a real problem.
Absolutely. I'll say that all day long. It's true. It's a fact,
Yeah, we that part of that stigma is it's the same psychology that motivates people. I don't think that'll ever change. It's the way you approach it with the different generations is how they respond to it. And I was really disheartened when I went to SLC years ago, and it's like, okay, I'm going with all these, the best NCOs in the Army, right? All E7s. This is going to be awesome. Right. And so if you weren't so there's some Delta guys there, the regiment guys there, and then the RIs pretty much ran the whole show, and it's like we got made fun of like every day for being better than them. And it was just like, are you like, because every class, and maybe the Ranger can teach it. Yeah, because I know it. Yeah. Like I could teach this class. Yes. And then the instructor says, hey, will you teach the class? No, he's going to teach it because he's stupid, and it's like, but yeah, you're spot on with that. Joe's spot on about it. It's like people are so afraid. And I said it in the book of Earl. It's like average people hate when you succeed. They just hate it because that makes
they love to hate a winner.
It's a defensive mechanism that they have.
It's a
way to make them feel okay about their decision not to move forward.
Well, it's just an excuse. Can I caveat? If you hate on other people, it's an excuse for your lack of success.
Just hold that squat right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me caveat off that, even though it's backwards because I got.
It would behoove us to listen to Joe.
It would behoove you. Let me caveat off that. I'm obviously not a supporter of the man. Everybody don't get triggered when I say his name. But if Oscar Pistorius didn't prove to you that this world loves to hate a winner, when they set a guy with no legs had an advantage in a foot race over the guy with legs because he was winning. They proved they love to hate a winner. I stole that from Cat Williams, but it's 100% true. Now, obviously, Oscar.
Good job. Cite your sources there.
Not a good dude. Okay, obviously he's not a good dude. But what I'm saying is, he was winning world-class races with no legs, and people said he had an unfair advantage. That proves they love to hate a winner right there.
He had robot legs.
See, and people should be getting inspired.
Well, why aren't they cutting their fucking legs off then and putting paper clips on them and running?
That's what I said. I'm pissed off that the way that I got
well,
wounded. I wanted to get my left leg amputated so that I could put a spike on it. So when I golfed, like, I could rotate. I could rotate all the way around my knee. Yeah. Sorry, Dan. Go ahead, Dan. Let's go with the dumpster fire.
Okay. So anyway, yeah. Long story short, so I started throwing fitness programs together. People were getting motivated by that. People still today get motivated by that, which is the biggest driver for me to continue on with Gritty Soldier and what Gritty Soldier stands for. It's not just fitness, even though if you go to grittysoldier.com, that's really what you're going to see is a bunch of fitness programs. You'll see some t-shirts because I like to sell t-shirts. That was pointed out earlier. And some motivation.
We sell t-shirts.
Yeah. Shirts are awesome, man.
Shop.veterantrashtalk.com.
But yeah,
I'm wearing the new P Hutch by VTT.
So Dan, is this you say it's social media? So are you making money off of this? Do people pay you to like personally train them, or how does that work?
I make money off the so social media has turned into what it is too. I'll talk about that for a second in a second, but I do make money. It's not a lot. Obviously, I'm still in the Army for
dude. You can make all the money you want, man. We love it.
Yeah,
you know.
I make money. It's not a whole lot, but it has a lot of potential. But that's not why I do this. I want that to be clear. It's not like my main driver by any means. But yeah, I do. When you go in there and you buy a fitness program, you know, those proceeds go to somebody, right? And yeah, they're going to me. A lot of it's to keep the website alive and also to just help me build this, what I like to call Gritty Soldier empire, bigger than what it is now. But the social media aspect of it, I've more recently been getting into the YouTube thing, and that's been helping out a lot if you think financially, only because now I can put as much information on there as possible for soldiers or anybody who really wants to go see it, who's looking for motivation or information about these schools and just looking for like that mentorship that they might not be getting back at their unit. I think they should be, but a lot of cases they probably aren't. So that's my way of being that like high speed mentor in their unit. That's a current, like encouraging them to go and follow their, you know, Army dreams and accomplish the things that they want to accomplish during their career, make themselves better soldiers, make themselves better people in general. And that's all on the YouTube. So you'll have like fitness things on there. You'll have, you were talking about my best Ranger videos. Those are meant to be more of like a motivation and like get you, you know, if you're into that kind of stuff, then you watch that video. And I get people all the time saying, man, that is awesome. I'm going to go try that workout. You know, so that's just how it works. And
that's really good stuff. That's really good stuff.
Dave,
Do you go ahead, Nick?
Yeah. A good point on Gruntworks on the thread here was, you know, we need to get him more views so that he can actually develop a better website. What we do here is, because I think you made your background white, so when you go to your store, you lose the logo. So we'll work with you on that afterwards. That's what we do. We got the tech guys for that. But we got Audrey Danger Turner. She's making a comment here, which is kind of close to me because I've been studying it the last couple of years at the Yale, the Southwest, UTEP.
That would be UTEP, wouldn't it?
Yeah, University of Texas El Paso. Some
Joe.
hidden gem.
We've known this already, man. Come on.
Well, I heard you know, Southwest schools, Ivy League. I think UTEP.
Yeah, exactly. So and Aaron Jones. But we got without followers, a leader is never created. So, in your opinion, what's a more valued part of the team, leaders or followers? You tend to get this argument with some of the older guys in the Army, especially like the DA civilians, because you got that transformation from the industrial world to the technological world. So the industrial world, you have put this in a box, package it, put it on the line, go. All right, I don't need you to think at all. Just do this. Okay, to where now the literacy rate has skyrocketed. People have gotten better, right? So Now the greatest tool in your formation is inside the guy's ears, right? The brain, okay, right in between their ears. That's the greatest tool that you have. So if you don't utilize that, then you're going to fail as a leader. All right. So you have like the Extreme Ownership podcast and all that crazy stuff, but there's a little thing that I used to go by, and I'll let Dan answer this because he's got plenty of experience in this topic. Is if your followers don't buy the vision, all right, you need to get a new leader. All right. If the followers don't understand the vision, you need to get a new vision. All right. So that's where the importance of the leader is, to make sure that the vision is clear, it's easy, it's understandable, and your followers want to go do it. I'm glad you say, and I'm glad you say followers, because we Army used to call them, still does, subordinates. All right. So it's like that's with, like I said, the way to motivate people is still the same. You just got to approach it differently. Now that people are smarter, they hear subordinate, and that actually makes them feel like less of a person, because you literally called them something that they understand what the word means. Mm-hmm. So if you call them a follower, it sounds better, right? So like I said, it's just the approach of how you talk to people. So again, everything's equally important. However, you should fire the leader for more things than you fire the follower. All right, because it is the leader's job to get the vision straight and to get the people to buy in to the vision. Dan, what's your take on that one? Good question, Audrey.
So Audrey said leaders aren't ever made. So that means she strictly believes that, or what was it again? Leaders are never made. What did she say again?
She said without followers, a leader is never created.
Oh, okay. So you have to have followers in order to have a leader, is basically what she's saying. Okay. Correct. So my take on leadership, right? I think in the Army, and is like the higher you go up, these conversations happen all the time. What do you believe in? Do you believe in that a leader is made at birth? Do you think they're natural leaders, or do you think that you can create a leadership over time, teaching them how to be a leader? And I think it's some sort of combination of both. I think there will always be like some sort of I think maybe it's possible that you could be born with like the correct attributes and somehow become morphed into a great leader as a product of your environment. Sure, maybe. But I also believe that, yeah, you can teach and learn certain lessons about leadership to become a better leader. So it's some sort of blending of both. I don't think it's really one or the other. I do think it's all about, to become a good leader, and I'm not saying I am like this awesome leader or anything, but this is just my opinion. I think a good leader understands the concept of groupthink and the power of we. Okay. And that's just, I don't know if I've heard that somewhere, but that's how I want to portray it. And what I mean by that is you should always be saying we when you're talking about anything. You don't ever want to say my followers and I, or my subordinates and I, or you guys are going to do this because I tell you to, because I'm your leader. You want to say and think and actually believe in, we need to accomplish this goal. Our mission is this. And we are a team that are going to accomplish whatever this mission is together. And I'm just, even, and that's something that I've developed from going through, growing as a soldier, coming in as like a private and dealing with all that, and going all the way up to Sergeant First Class. And now today I'm a captain. So I've kind of seen a little bit of everything, and I've been able to evolve from there. And I know that everybody just has like a certain place in the team. And as long as everybody understands their place and operates in that way to move forward as the collective, then that goal will be met. And if you don't, then you all fail together, and it's no big deal. We grow and we learn. But it's all about we. And I think a good leader understands that and executes it that way. Anytime there's anything that needs to be done. And that was my long spiel on leadership.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Because it spins off. You got WTF radios on here, and they're here to become a better person. So I don't know if and we're going to change her name from Spanky to Sparky. I did that on UFC last night, so it could be Kaz too. I don't know which one's watching, but also it is Spanky language. I said she has to change it to Sparky, so I'm not wrong. But yeah, you have that old mentality of that leadership is not a learned trait. And that's more of the bureaucracy style, like I said, back in the day. And there are still people that believe in a bureaucracy. And sometimes the bureaucracy works. So that it's not like you can't just throw it all away. All right. Because sometimes it does work. And there are competencies in a bureaucracy that are important. But again, that's where I see some failures in the Army. I didn't see it much in the infantry because we know that our team has to succeed. All right. And everybody is important, and it's talent management, putting the right people in the right place. Right. So we've seen this before where somebody gets to 249 as the new guy. Right. And it's like the dumbest thing you can do. Right. It's really dumb. And because that's the weapon machine.
Highest casualty producing weapon in the platoon.
Right. So I'm glad our platoon that we all grew up in the same platoon developed that strategy to, build up the weapons squad. And the way we did that was you made the weapons squad untouchable with old Carlos Chilton, and it was like, if you made that squad, it's because you were the best guys in the platoon. Right. And nobody messed with you. You didn't do details. You were in the gym at 1500. Right. Like, see you later. And so now everybody wanted to go get in weapons squad. Right. Cause it's like, yeah, that's where you want to be. Because the guns kill people. But yeah, it's a struggle when you have a bureaucracy in the military, and pretty much any job nowadays where you have intelligent people working for you. Because when you tell an intelligent person to sit down and shut up, all right, you just turned off the greatest tool that you had. You turned off a brain that can think. Right. And again, if you don't want to be logical about it, 60 years ago, look up the literacy rate in America. All right. Look at there weren't as many educated people as there are now. So back then, it wasn't a big deal to tell someone to shut up because they were stupid. Okay. Now we have a lot more smarter people. And that kind of goes into my book of Earl. I don't want to get too long winded on it, but I was going to use the book of Earl to promote Throat Punch Mondays. I got kicked off of Facebook yesterday for inviting a friend over for Memorial Day. So I guess that's frowned upon in the Facebook community. So I can't create the event, but they will be going live on Monday. All right. If you haven't watched the first one, go on our YouTube channel. It's with Leah, Len, and Letha. Okay. And again, it's a very, very powerful podcast, and it's the only one of its kind.
Yep.
Like
only
Joe
girls out
said
there
yesterday.
doing it. Only girls out there doing it.
They're going to be trendsetters. I'm sure somebody else will, probably have more connections and get bigger before they do. We hope not, but they're literally covering topics that are extremely difficult to, one, understand, and then two, watch. Okay. And they're not just going to cover the topics that are tough to watch. They're going to cover a lot of awesome stuff as they grow in their podcast, but they are tremendous. You got a Navy vet, an Air Force vet, and an Army vet. All right. And they're on there talking about stuff, and it's been racking my brain out on how to promote them. And that triggers me a little bit because I'm really good at promoting stuff. I'm really good at putting, advertisements out. And I'm sitting here like, why can't I get people to jump on board with this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. This is freaking awesome. And it's like, what's going on? And I come to some of the conclusions because, again, let's not get into the linear language where there's only one reason why something's wrong. All right. It's a system. So there could be a little piece wrong way down over here that you didn't see because you're thinking about the one best way to fix it. Right. Like, there's probably 40 things you can do differently. And I am going to put some of the blame on the audience. And I'm going to put some of the blame on, like, what Dan was talking about with how it's scary in the military now that we're allowing these people to complain and, about being average. And I think about Captain Cost, the first female in regiment, right, where she had her tweet that she started getting beat up on, where she was like, there's not a problem with the ACFT. The problem is there's people that want to work to get to the standard. And then you had Captain Greist get on there who, regardless of, I know some of my RI buddies will get mad for me saying her name, but like, Captain Greist, she's like, it's very dangerous to do this to combat arms. It's very dangerous to say that, because remember, equal opportunity does not mean you lower the standard so more people can pass. Equal opportunity means that everybody has an opportunity to try. Okay, regardless of their sex, their creed, whatever. Okay, so the color doesn't matter. That's equal opportunity. So if you can't make that standard, okay, then sorry, don't mess with combat arms. All right, and that brings me to my point about what's wrong with people not watching Throat Punch Mondays or watching when Leah had her show about the Female Warrior Edition. you have the one side, the females that are bragging about the ponytails, all right, about how awesome this new regulation is, all right. I get triggered by them. I'm like, because you know what? I don't give a shit. I don't care if you have a ponytail or not. And no warfighter does. There isn't a single warfighter that gives a shit if you have a ponytail. And then there's the other side. There's the guys that are complaining about not having beards. Like, I don't like you either. Like, why is this even getting attention? Why is this even getting airtime? It's like, one, wear a fucking ponytail. Nobody cares. If you want a beard, go Delta, okay? Or like go to a group. Work your way to get what you want. All right. Or you could be like me, where I had a beard for a couple months because I got a shaving profile. I'm like one of the 4 white people in the Army to ever accomplish that. So like, so I had my shaving profile for a while. I got it. There's ways to get beards. Bitching about it on Twitter is not one of them. Okay. And then the other thing is when you silence the grunts, and here we are on Gruntworks, all right, VTT, when you silence the grunts, that's a big problem because the grunts are the ones that they only care about winning. All right. And so when something comes across their desk about like, what I have to worry about, what now? It's like, wait, why? Why would I care? Why would I, now that there's females in the infantry? I put this on Twitter the other day. I was like, as an 11 Bravo, I've never corrected a female soldier. Ever. Because of the Sharp and EO stuff. I would just be like, can she do that? Like, is that okay? Like, I'm not fucking touching it. All right. Because one, I don't care what she's doing because it doesn't matter what she's doing. It doesn't stop me from winning. All right. So again, when you say a man can't talk, especially a grunt, because he's a man, all right, that's sexist. All right. If you don't want the opinion of the warfighters, all right, then you're an idiot. You should want our opinion. Okay. You should want, what do the grunts think about it? And then here, I got triggered. A very important person came to where I work. All right. And he gave a speech.
Long-winded again.
I'm pissed. So a very important person came to speak. And the first person to ask a question to this very important person, all right, asked them, what do they think about fingernail polish?
Yeah, that kind of ends. That's kind of like when when they jump the shark on Happy Days and you're like, I'm out. Okay, this just lost all credibility. I'm sorry, Nick, to cut you off, but that's fucking hysterical.
No,
nail
you're
polish.
good, but it's like you have an awesome individual on a stage that's here to share their expertise, and the first fucking question you ask this person is fingernail polish. Like, what? And so again, Dan, I'm
back to you, Dan. Nick, this happens to Nick occasionally. It's a TBI or
you
something.
Kind of well, hey, Dave, I'm going to keep talking because like I get a lot of ratings. Again, when people are wrong, they just talk louder. All right. And we've proven that with Buddy Beckwith and I, when we argue with each other, we just get louder because it's the louder person is going to win. All right. So if you're bragging about ponytails, if you're bitching about beards, all right, if you say a man can't talk because he's a man, you're the problem. You're the fucking problem. If you say there's no victimless crime, if you say there's a victimless crime, you're the problem. All right. There's no such thing as a victimless crime. All right. You guys have problems. We'll never fix the fucking system if we don't look at everything, the whole fucking system. So there you have it with the Book of Earl. All right. Again, nobody gives a fuck about ponytails. Nobody cares about your beard, and nobody cares about your fucking fingernail polish. All right.
Show a shirt, Nick.
Yeah. Quit being a triggered pansy. All right.
Hey, before we kick it back to Dan, I just want to caveat off one thing. Notice Nick said we're on Gruntworks, not a bunch of civilians doing it grunt style. That's it.
Yeah, don't shop grunt style. Shop Gritty Soldier.
That's what they are.
Shop
a bunch
Gruntworks.
of civilians doing it grunt style. That's what they are.
Why are we buying anything from grunt style anymore? Fuck grunt style. They're not even owned by veterans anymore.
Dan, back to you, man.
Let's get him, Dan. Get him, Dan. Go.
What's your take?
Yeah. What's my take on that? Okay, so my take on that is, man, I mean, I'm with you in the fact, like, I really don't, that's something that doesn't really trigger me because I just don't pay it any mind. Like, I think we're focused on the wrong things. When there's people that are upset, or the soldiers that are upset about like facial hair and ponytails and things like that, it's kind of like, okay, man, well, you're passing your PT test, right? You know what I mean? Like things like that. Like, I just don't think it's that big of a deal. I think we're focused on the wrong thing there, and we need to get back on track on focusing on making a better Army as a whole. And you got to think, this goes back to the whole like we concept. Like the Army, you got your platoon, that's a we. You got your company, that's a we. The battalion, then you got the whole Army. The whole thing is a big we. It's a whole team. So there's going to be you don't always get along with your teammates, and sometimes the other teammates have it better than the others for like a short time or whatever, no matter what you're doing. But we have to all get along at the end of the day so that we can accomplish whatever the mission's goal is, or the team's goal is at the time. So like, I don't know, that stuff. I think we see more of that nowadays, and why people get detracted from what really matters nowadays. One, because social media is just all over the place, and it just spreads like wildfire, and people just feel like they can say whatever they want, have no repercussions, which a lot of times that's true. So they just get it off their chest on social media. And then two, I just don't think we have a lot of focus as a military right now. I think, now we're going into great power competition, and this is a whole nother conversation, but we just don't, you guys can all relate. Like, you guys all came in and you had the war on terror going on, and we all had a focus. Like, everybody more or less had a pretty solid reason for joining, whether it was because they were patriotic or maybe they were joining for college, but whatever. But they all knew there was a pretty good chance of going to Afghanistan or Iraq. And today it's different. There's a different populace that's coming in off the streets of the Army, and they all have their other reasons for coming in, and they're a lot smarter nowadays, like you were saying. So everybody's got an opinion, everybody's got an opinion, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's something, but we just need to like acknowledge it, and instead of fighting back and forth about it to each other until somebody eventually wins, like, we just sort of need to like take a step back, reevaluate what the real problems are, and move forward on that, rather than just getting hung up on all these silly issues.
Well said, Dan. It's white noise. Dan, but
yeah,
honestly,
it's white noise.
like I was saying, it's white noise in the way of point B. You're at point A, and all that shit is white noise in the way of point B. And that's kind of keys off of what I was saying also. Is like, when you get focused on all these little bumps in the road, and you're not going to arrive where you want to get to. I mean, It's literally it is distractions along the way of what you're trying to attain. And I think that the biggest problem is that every feeling is valid now. And if you don't think it's valid, then you are somehow either ignorant to that culture, or you're labeled, what's the word I'm looking for, Nick? Prejudice. I mean, it because you don't understand the struggles of what fake nails do during the PT test. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous to expect combat arms leaders to waste the shot glass of time they have when they're pouring a 2 liter of stuff to do in it, to put that in there and actually expect them to have an opinion on it, or to waste any time on whose feelings they hurt with their opinion. It's I think it's quite ridiculous, but that's just me.
Yeah.
All you can shoot, move, and to communicate. Who cares? Ponytails. Who cares?
I'll tell you right now, I was a shitty garrison soldier. Dave can.
Oh, you were horrible. You were by far one of my worst garrison soldiers.
How'd we do in
ever.
Combat though?
We killed. Yeah, we.
Well, you got shot, so
we killed it. No pun intended. I did get shot, but
I got shot, but I was driving.
No, Joe got shot.
I didn't miss a single mission, so thank you very much.
Yeah, but
hey, but
no,
I just wasn't gunning. I was driving with one arm.
Before Nick went on his long soapbox there, Dan, I had a question for you in regards to your clientele.
You mean my podcast I started, Dave? Dave, were you talking about the podcast that I started that I talked on? Is that what you're upset about?
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Okay.
Dan, is it clientele wise? Is it really military focused, or do you have some civilians doing this stuff as well, hitting you up, contacting you, or are you pushing it more in the military side?
No, I'm glad you asked that. So like, actually, from my own, so I'll just say it's mostly civilians that actually go through these military fitness programs and use them. But obviously we've had a lot of military personnel that use them too, because they're military focused. I mean, especially like the Ranger School program, Sapper programs, they're like geared towards the accomplishment of a military school. But that's actually where the next direction of where Gritty Soldier is headed. So moving forward, I kind of want to make it a broader spectrum. So not just because the target audience for Gritty Soldier is not necessarily just soldiers, right? It's a separate entity, and it's really just targeting military. It's pushing military style fitness onto anybody that wants to partake in that, using my own experience as a personal trainer and going through these schools to build programs that would make you able to succeed at those sorts of things. Okay, so hopefully that all came out okay.
No, that
so I
was
think
good.
that's why a lot of civilians, you know, they come out, and that's probably why they like, I hate to compare myself to a grunt style, but I'm sure there's a lot of civilians out there that buy grunt style shit too, because they just wanna,
way too many.
Yeah,
Way too many. That's
But
all the
this
people that
is
should
like-
buy that is civilians.
yeah. So, but the next level of where Gritty Soldier is going, I'm still going to keep the YouTube up because I see the extreme positive effects that it has for soldiers. You know, they go on there on YouTube, and I'm sure there's probably a couple of them watching right now. But the way I perceive our interactions on YouTube and the comments and all that is, it's almost like me and like a fellow soldier having a conversation, and I have now provided them an experience and motivated them to go do it because I thought it was awesome. I think they should go do it too, and given them the confidence to now take themselves and go accomplish that. And it's just like being, you know, at the, you know, like at your unit, talking to another soldier and just having that conversation, you know, for Ranger example, or Airborne or whatever, just say, yeah, I went there and it was awesome. This is what I experienced. It was great. You should fucking go too. And this is why. And that's the whole thing with the Gritty Soldier message, just to continue.
I love it. And we might have to talk offline a little bit after this, but I mean, I am in a business where I know a lot of people that can't join the military for various reasons, physical fitness reasons and stuff. So, you know, we might have to, yeah, because that'd be a great program to push out to, you know, obviously I can't openly promote it and say, hey, we're USAREC, we promote this, or, you know, but we definitely need to have a conversation.
Yeah, it's tough because like I have to separate, because I'm still in, you're still in. I have to separate that from my active duty career, but I still base a lot of my information on my active duty career. But the business itself is open to anybody. It's not targeted at soldiers. It's targeted for anybody that wants to increase their fitness level.
So give some soldiers that are watching, give some soldiers some advice on, I mean, most of us probably know the answer to this, but you are really into fitness and stuff. Give some soldiers advice on how to max their run. You know, what would if you want to max, I mean, we all kind of know the answer. So we had a pretty good running program in our platoon and everything. But, you know, if you want to max your run or get better at your 2-mile run, with some quick tips on what you can do.
I just posted a video last night about maxing your 2-mile run. So first of all, go check out that video on YouTube if you need to reference that. But just right off my head, a lot of soldiers are just, they're just not, okay, so I'm not even gonna talk about that, but here, I'll just give you like 5 quick tips, right? So like first, you need to start doing sprints, okay? Like a lot of people hate sprints. They think it's just too much, but that's gonna increase your VO2 level over time. And it's like one of the most important things you need to be doing, at least sprints once a week to increase your run over time. So like if you're, I'm taking from that video now, but if you're not really sure where to start with sprints, then you need to be doing like 10 times 100 meters, maybe wait 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes in between sets. Do that for like a month or 2 at a time. You're going to knock off like 30 seconds off your run time just doing sprints. Okay. Next, you need to start getting in the habit of running more than 2 miles. Okay. That doesn't mean you need to go be a marathon runner, but you should be running like 3 or 4 miles at any given time so that you can get used to running the extra distance. So when it comes to the 2 miles, it doesn't feel like it's this big, long event. It seems like a shorter event that you can get through, and it's not a big deal. And that's going to inherently give you that mental power to feel like you can push through it and just run faster just to get it over with, because you're used to running further than 2 miles. No big deal. Also start integrating like HIIT workouts into your workout routine. So a lot of guys, especially in the infantry, they like to just go to the gym and get big, and that's awesome because I love going to the gym too. But every now and then integrate like some supersets or do some box jumps, you know, do something that's going to get your breathing going. Okay. Do burpees, start liking burpees, man. Burpees, make burpees your best friend. That's going to increase your cardio. All right. Number 4, and this is probably one of the most important that I can think of, is your diet. Okay. And a lot of soldiers, they don't really understand. I feel like we should be having a better class offered by the Army as a whole of like dieting and how to make
we've talked about this on the show, and we've had several individuals on the show that are into that. And
like we have
well,
all these
part of that
things.
is
it
part
is
of that
provided
is like
through the
leadership.
military, but you got to be overweight
the
first to go
leadership.
on the overweight program. Yeah.
No,
See,
Nick
that's
is
not
right
true
about that.
either.
No, Nick's right about that.
It's
because
a
good
leadership
leader-
problem. You can find it.
Yeah.
You can find it in every base. So we brought Karen on here, our favorite life coach that we have. She's gonna be on Trade Docs podcast in a couple of days. We shared it, but she actually got my platoon run time on average down by 2 minutes. And then when she showed the stats of how many people she worked with and did that, and all I had to do was go ask her. So there's like they're on the base. There's GS levels on the base that they're there for that. So they'll build your entire PT plan. And I'm glad that Dan, this what you're doing. We promote it even if we didn't like it, because you're a veteran. But like, it's such a big deal for the mental health of not just service members, but also veterans, also civilians, and people understand
it's
the
a foundational
complex system.
pillar of mental health. Fitness is.
Correct.
You can't
I wanted to talk
that.
about Tiger Woods with that, is how he revolutionized golf by being in such good shape that in a third and fourth round, mentally, there was nothing wrong with him. So that's how you saw him destroying course records, because he was able to still be mentally in the game and not be tired. So how do they get there? Where is your, what's the name of the YouTube channel, all that stuff? Can you throw a couple plugs out there?
The channel is just Gritty Soldier. So if you were to search Gritty Soldier on YouTube, you'll find it. You'll see, so it's either going to be this logo you'll see, or you'll see me carrying like a bag on my back, but it's Gritty Soldier. Pretty easy to find. Go over there and definitely subscribe. So I'm actively making videos. I try to do it at least once a week, but I do it on the side, so I get pretty busy sometimes. But I wanted to, if it's okay, I wanted to talk about the mental health aspect.
Go for it, Dan. Go for it.
So
it's your floor.
That's really like another big part of the whole Gritty Soldier thing, is to promote mental health awareness in a way that doesn't. There's really nothing negative about fitness. You really just can't. Like, I can't find anything that's negative or can be construed in a negative way when you're trying to increase your fitness level. And the more fit you get, the chances are, and the science will back this, your mental fitness or your mental fitness is going to be even better. So like if you can build a good foundational platform in fitness, then the chances that you're going to be bothered by a lot of the things that soldiers are prone to be bothered by, PTSD, marital issues, drugs, a lot of these types of things that we just are having a really hard time figuring out. Fitness is something you can figure out on your own, and you can do it at all times during the day. And there's really no negative side effects. The only negative side effect you're going to run into is like overtraining. And you're going to know if you're doing that before you even get there, so you really, I think the military is COVID kind of threw a wrench in it too, but fitness has to be a priority for all soldiers. It has to be one of the number one priorities, or we're going to keep seeing like multiplying mental fitness problems. Okay. And I can talk on this. Like, I'm not just some guy that, has a good life and doesn't have problems of his own. I can tell you, I've got plenty of problems, man. I'm married. I got 4 kids, way too many kids. I got 3 freaking dogs. Like, what the hell was I thinking on that one? I got daily problems, man. I've been blown up. I've been deployed 3 times. I've had a lot of problems. I've got guys that have taken their own lives. I've got that typical soldier story where normally at the end of the day, you might see somebody like me saying, well, the Army didn't take care of me and now I have mental problems, and I'm not saying that's like a problem, but find something in fitness that you like to do, whether it's running or lifting or anything, and stick to that, and you'll see that it's going to help you find your zen in your mind.
Yeah, I got.
No, man,
it's good, Dan.
great.
There's only one guy in here who hates people talking a lot. That's Dave, because he doesn't say anything.
I don't normally talk so much. Jeez.
No, it's good.
I love you, Nick. You know that.
Yeah. I'm okay with it. And again, you brought up COVID, and that's kind of how we started our thing with the whole mental health aspect of why Veteran Trash Talk is what it is is they stopped all of our pain management. They stopped our physical therapy. They stopped our behavioral health. And it's like, so we get out here and we talk. And Saturdays are my best days because I get to come out here and talk with my boys. I get to talk with my buddies and, get to vent a little bit and say all that, whatever. But I had an argument at work just this week. And I was like, they were getting mad at me that I had a lot of personal, I had a lot of physical fitness in my daily timeline for a couple of soldiers that I have. Mm-hmm. And they're like, you seem to be weighing really heavily on physical fitness. Now, this is my first time outside of an infantry type area, so I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to have them focus on because that's what's going to get them mentally stronger. Like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Aren't you soldiers? Like, what is going on here? And it's like they're soldiers. They should be in shape, and so again, it's kind of a culture shock. And that goes back to the point of when you shut up the grunts, when you tell the grunts to just shut up and sit over there, when you have a grunt next to you, when you have somebody that actually trains to kill people, all right, you might, and he probably understands doctrine a lot better than most people, even though he probably can't articulate it very well, but he understands it, right? This is the guy that you probably want to know how to do things in the Army. It's like, it's not a motor pool. It's not and like I said, we love all of our MOSs and we bring up that point up all the time. It's like, we need everybody, but like you said, if physical fitness isn't at the top of your priority, then you're going to start losing a lot in other parts of the system.
Yeah. You got to think how much you get out of fitness, like morning PT, for example. I mean, especially like in the old days, I mean, there's definitely units doing good morning PT, but you got to think like all the things that you learn about being a better soldier and a better human being just by doing PT together. I mean, you learn about teamwork, you learn about, motivating one another, getting things together, or getting things that are hard done as a team. And that's all done through physical fitness, and it's free, And I don't mean to sound like this, high-speed PL when I talk like this.
You sound like a high-speed PT stud. So what's your score on the acft?
I haven't gotten to 600 yet. I'll leave it at that. Really close. I was like 6 points off, but I'm trying.
6 points off.
It's that damn ball throw, man. It keeps getting me. I just can't dial it down where I can.
Yeah, you must not have been an athlete before the military, huh?
Impressive.
I make that the ACFT before my knee blew out. I think I was like a 560 something, and it was like there was just. It's a smoker to do it the right way, and you got to prepare for it. But I try to tell people they want to hate on the ACFT, and I'm like, trust me, all the PRT stuff that we do is what a lot of the pro teams are doing in football. All right, like they don't even get that. That's where we develop. We have a lot of people that get paid money to do. And yes, I know the little leg up things for your hip flexors are boring and they look stupid, right? But they're really good for an 18-year-old who's never developed his hip flexors. So when he gets to a ball throw and he has to thrust through his hips, shocking. Maybe if you would have strengthened his freaking hips, he'd throw the ball. You got a guy that scores a 300 on the PT test, Ranger, all this kind of stuff. Good dude of mine, good soldier of mine. And he couldn't pass the ball throw at the gold standard. Then I was like, yeah, because running and push-ups isn't going to do it, bro.
And since we got to the ACFT, Dan, couple pointers, because it is obviously a big discussion in the military right now.
Yeah.
A lot of people are struggling with it. Nick brought it up earlier. It's because they're not prepping. But do you have a couple pointers for the Army viewers and listeners on how to prepare for it a little bit better and how to get? I mean, it's a variety of things, exercises, obviously. But if you had a couple key pointers that you'd want to put out, what would they be?
Oh, first things first is stop pushing back against the ACFT. It's happening. You might as well get in your head that is the PT test.
Fucking do it. Fucking do it.
Yeah, just do it. Like you're a soldier. That's the PT test. Stop bitching about it and just train for it. Okay. So that's like, you have to make that click in your mind to get better. And then I would definitely start getting into the habit of integrating running at the end of your workouts, because I'm sure everybody feels that pain, like at the end of everything that you do at the ACFT, and then you got to go run 2 miles. And if you're not used to that, it knocks off like 2 or 3 minutes of your time of what you're usually running at. And that's just because you've already used so much energy through the ACFT you're not used to. So just whether you're lifting or whatever you're doing, CrossFit and whatever you're doing, just add a run at the end of that so that you can get used to that. And that'll help you a lot with your score at the end. And then let's see, what else would I recommend? go on the ACFT website and you'll see and the only reason I say that, it sounds corny, but go to that one because there are actually, they list out some good exercises that you can use to build up for the exercises themselves, or you can just use those alternate exercises to rotate so you're not getting bored training on the same exercise. And they're actually really good. Like they target the exact same muscle that you'd be using. So like for the leg tuck, for example, a lot of people have a hard time for that. But if you do lying leg lifts, like you're essentially doing you're working the same muscles, but it's going to be a lot easier for you. So just, go onto that website, look at the alternate exercises and just do those. Add them to what you're already doing. Okay. So if you are that guy that goes to the gym and says, oh, I like to get gains, I don't give a shit about the ACFT. Well, first of all, it's the wrong mindset, but there's nothing wrong with that. Go to the gym, do what you do, take a couple extra protein shakes so you don't lose your gains, train for the ACFT alongside it so that you can be a good soldier as well. Okay.
Right. And training for the ACFT, like I mentioned before, and you see all these workouts, the Army spent a lot of money researching how to get people in shape that way. And it's like, we have to get, and I was able to do it as a first sergeant because it's doctrine and I was the first sergeant, but it's like, you're going to do PRT. It's what you're going to do. I don't care what your opinion is. At 1,500, you guys can go to the gym and get jacked. That was the trade-off. I was like 1,500, go to the gym, and nobody's working past 1,500. Like go to the gym. All right. But in the morning, you're going to do PRT.
And the pushback for PRT was just ridiculous when it came out, man.
We did it. We all pushed back on it because we
did too.
We didn't know.
It was just as bad. We didn't have as much social media back then to spread it as bad. But it was just as bad.
We definitely have ponytails and no PRT if social media existed back in that day. So, but that's awesome. That's great stuff. You were a great guest, and I know a lot of people watching it will probably watch it again to get some tips and stuff like that. And really appreciate you having on, Dan. And I hope you get some more followers and some more sales. I know we put your links out there, but before Dave closes us out, throw a couple more plugs out. Anything that people need to know how to get to you again.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll just remind you, everything is Gritty Soldier. There's really no other Gritty Soldier out there. So if you which is lucky for me, but if you look just Gritty Soldier, you'll find, I'm on Instagram. We're on Twitter. YouTube's a big one. Definitely go check out YouTube because chances are there's something on that channel that's going to give you some good information on some sort of goal that you have, especially if it relates to the military. And it's going to continue to grow. I'm not giving up on YouTube. I'm going to make that until I end up with a YouTube plaque behind me. And subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe. And then if you're interested in
that bell, you got to hit that bell.
Yeah, you got to do all that
smash
stuff.
That like button. You got to smash that like button.
That's important. Smash that like button anyway. And then, if you're interested in workout programs, go to grittysoldier.com. That's where the workout programs are. I'm building that website. It is going to be transforming soon into a more civilian friendly one. So it's not just targeted soldiers because that's not the intent, but go check it out. There's plenty there too. And I'm an open book. Okay. I like to provide mentorship at any time I possibly can. So using those platforms, especially like Instagram, you can send me a direct message with any questions that you have regarding fitness or career enhancement, all those things, and I'll hit you back. Okay. It's just me. I'm just a guy, and I'll give you all the information I possibly can give to you to help you along your way. Okay. So don't forget to do that. If you definitely have a question and if you need some advice, just hit me up on Instagram or YouTube or something and I'll get back to you.
Awesome, Dan. Appreciate you. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on. Very informative stuff. Some good discussion going on. We're definitely going to push your stuff out, continue supporting you because that's what we do on VTT. All right. We promote veteran-owned businesses for free. Okay. That is what we do. Hey, for all you viewers and listeners.
Keep pushing excellence, Dan.
Yeah, keep pushing excellence. Go to veterantrashtalk.com. Okay. That is our website. And it'll give you all the links to shop.veterantrashtalk. All right. It'll give you our links to our YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. Subscribe, support us. Everybody have a wonderful Saturday. Love y'all. We're out.
Deuces.
Where do we turn to veteran trash talk? Where do we turn to veteran trash talk? Where do we turn to veteran trash talk bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises bravely every morning. One day I'm okay, next day darkness. One day I'm okay, next day darkness. One day I'm okay, next day darkness bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises bravely every morning. Past is the past, so be forgiven. The past is the past, so be forgiven. The past is the past, so be forgiven bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises bravely every morning. Let's fight, don't quit, call that in order. Let's fight, don't quit, call that in order. Let's fight, don't quit, call that in order bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises bravely every morning. Raise a glass for those we're missing. Raise a glass for those we're missing. Raise a glass for those we're missing bravely every morning. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises. Bad days, good days, up we rises bravely every morning. That's what we do in veteran trash talk. That's what we do in veteran trash talk. That's what we do in veteran trash talk bravely every